Hello, folks. So we're going to talk about generating ideas today. Um, and this is actually a very important topic that I like to cover because in graphic design and any other type of creative media, one of the issues that a lot of designers or artists have is that every once in a while they get this artist block where they can't come up with any ideas and they kind of like lose creativity. And statistics actually say that a lot of graphic designers will lose creativity within 3 to 5 years. Now, does this mean that you're done in 3 to 5 years? Absolutely not. You can still come up with the designs and stuff like that, but it's coming up with new ideas is always critical. And so what I'm going to talk about today is generating these ideas and being creative. All right. So how to be creative when you lose all creativity is an essential element to this particular talk. And one of the ideas is actually being in a creative work environment. All right, having a creative space that can make a lot of difference when it comes to getting ideas. Being in a creative room or something like that, it has a lot of either textures and colors and stuff like that that will actually add to your more creative sense. Um, Being in this creative space can free your mind to think beyond what you would normally see in a bland beige room. So being creative is just being in the space that can kind of like add to that creative sense. Actively generating ideas. Designers too often want to go with the first viable solution and move quickly to the production phase of the project. This hinders your creativity. Something you can do is carry around a sketchbook, and when inspiration hits, you draw it out. Or if you don't have your sketchbook and maybe you're at a restaurant, something really hits you that you really like the idea, take a napkin, jot it down, put it in your pocket, whatever. Anything that's going to add to your creativity is critical. Another option is brainstorming. A lot of Disney animators, what they tend to do, especially Pixar, will, when a project comes up that they're going to work on, they get everybody together, all the creatives together into one room, and they got to hash out ideas. And so brainstorming or coming up with these ideas, no matter how outlandish it is, can kind of help to give that more creative problem solving. So it's just a group of people together. That's all it really is. All right, thinking beyond the obvious. All right, explore new associations and see beyond how they work with familiar parameters. All right, thinking outside the box is one of the phrases that we use a lot. And in the sensor, here's an example. I mean, it's like if you were walking down the street and this bus passed you, I'm sure you'd probably take a second look at it. It's creative, but it's for a bus wrap for a zoo, and it looks like a python is squeezing that bus. But it allows you to kind of like look at it differently, right? As far as creativity, like a crosswalk with Mr. Clean on it, or a shopping bag that you walk out of a fitness company holding. It looks like you're holding onto dumbbells. All right, it's just these things that you would probably not think about, but they're so easy once you see it because you're thinking outside of the box. Every designer absolutely does not like doing thumbnails, but in all reality, creating thumbnails is important. And all they are quick sketches jotting down your ideas. Just simple sketches. They're not anything really drawn out. But how this helps with creativity is like if you're doing thumbnails constantly, take a sketchbook, do thumbnails. Draw things that you kind of feel inspired for. In about 5-6 years, when you're working on a logo for somebody, and you run out of these ideas, go back through your sketches, and maybe there was like a sketch for a logo project that you were doing 5 years ago that didn't work at the time, But when you look at it now, something in there kind of like sparked an idea that was like, oh, yeah, this didn't work then, but this may work for this particular project now. So thumbnails are very, very important as a designer to just jot those things down, save them. So you never know when you want to use them again. This is the thumbnails for a website layout. All right. Form associations to words and ideas. Apply a random word technique to your design ideas. This is like almost one of those last ditch resort type things where it's like you are choosing some kind of word. And in all reality, here it is. It's like random word technique. It's choosing a random word from the dictionary. Just any random word. Open the dictionary up. And then taking your finger and try and look away, put your finger down and see what word kind of comes up. Of course, if that word doesn't seem to fit, you can pick a different word. But thinking of random words. And explore what that meaning of it was. Where did it come from? All the information about that word. Summarize the word into a few words to define the meaning of that word. And then when you prompt associations to that word, that can prompt ideas. So, for example, you have a client who has this brand new hammer that they're trying to sell. And what they need to do is you need to create an ad campaign for them. And you do this random word technique and it came up with the word elephant. So think about what kind of association, how can an elephant be connected to a hammer in some way? And you start to think about, okay, what are some of the characteristics of an elephant? It's big, it's large, it's gray, it has a trunk, it lives in Africa. Like, all these different associations for that elephant. And then maybe that will spark an idea to say, okay, well, this hammer, maybe it's strong enough that an elephant could be standing on it. So it's like maybe a visionary idea of an ad with an elephant foot coming up the top of the ad, and the hammer is kind of like standing straight up, and you see the elephant's foot kind of like just being held up by this hammer. Is these types of things will associate and start to generate more ideas. An example here is when a middle school principal named Peggy had a problem with her female pupils who were experimenting with lipstick. The girls were kissing the mirrors in the bathroom, leaving their lip prints on bathroom mirrors. The maintenance department constantly asked her to have the pupils stop this practice because of the time required to clean the mirrors. Peggy lectured and pleaded and threatened the girls with detention, but nothing seemed to help. She decided to use the Da Vinci's random word technique, closed her eyes, and selected the word pizza from her list of random words. She then forced connection between pizza and lipstick prints. She laughed when she thought of her best friend Ellen of years ago and how they always tried to gross each other out in a game they called Yuck. She remembered one time when they spread the rumor that the cafeteria was using sewage water from a ditch to make pizzas to save the water. The students refused to eat the pizza. So I'm missing part of it. But what it is, it like basically what they did was beyond that, they decided, well, let's go ahead and have the maintenance person meet them all in the bathroom. And what they did, the maintenance person collected all the necessary culprits and showed and demonstrated, dipped a squeegee in the toilet and started cleaning the mirrors with the squeegee. So that kind of like solved that problem that they had, because the girls were very disgusted by that and didn't do anything about it. So another one that we have is generating montaged ideas, combining one or two images to express the essence of an idea. Okay, so combining one or two images to express the essence of that idea. So taking two images and it may form a connection. Like here, the woman has a shocked face on her, but she's holding up a shoe that kind of also representative of the mouth. So you got this shocked look on the woman's face, but her mouth is covered by the shoe, but the shoe is translating as that open mouth. Or here, taking a picture of this woman here with the bottle of Pepsi Max, kind of like holding the eye open. Or here, take an ice cream bar and combining that with a bed of nails, kind of like that might seem like it senses that way when somebody bites into an ice cream cone and has sensitive gums. Or catapult, your electric vehicle, the Chevy Volt, using the power lines as a slingshot to propel it forward, so it's using electricity. Or in the case of this, one of my favorite ads of all time is this Hot Wheels ad that shows a truck driving through a shag carpet. But if you look at it too, you might see a wheat field that this truck is driving through. And what I really like about this ad, it really taps into a childlike's imagination that we lose over time. So seeing this ad is like really taps into that childhood imagination. I really like that. And then finally, benefiting from playful accidents. They're random accidents of design, or we sometimes call them happy accidents. And for this one, basically, it's not too long ago, professional illustrator Micah Angela Hendricks could not imagine sharing her personal art projects with anyone. However, one day, when she bought a new sketchbook, her 4-year-old daughter started adding her own contributions. Micah noticed that unrestrained imagination of a child always allows her girl to finish the paintings in a way that the artist could never think of herself. Now the mom starts a piece by drawing a face, and the daughter finishes it up with the body she thinks is to fit best. Micah never knows how they will turn out, which was tough for a perfectionist at first, but she learned to appreciate it. So again, this is where an instance here where the artist started drawing the faces and had to walk away because she's a mom. And as she walked away, she noticed her 4-year-old decided to take it upon themselves to finish off the drawing in a childlike way. That prompted her to associate a whole collection that was centered around that. She would start the head and then have her daughter finish it. Because it's different. It's different than anybody would ever actually think of when doing it. So this is examples of some of her work. So hopefully those give you some kind of ideas to kind of like take it upon yourself to think beyond the obvious, and start to form some new associations for design. All right, till next time, I'll see you then.